So you've looked up almost every single Instagram video, every single YouTube video, you've been scrolling for hours, you've been searching for hours on Google as to what you can do with your life just to get some sort of direction as to what you're supposed to do in your career field, and you're still lost. You've talked to people, you've talked to family, you've been to counseling programs, but you just don't feel it. You just don't feel the spark, you know. You have referred to every single external source possible. But, guys, it is your life purpose. And it is not that you have to look outside to find the answers, you have to look inside. Hi, guys, my name is Ophelia. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about some of the things that you should know while making a career choice, including one of the most important things that I think nobody, at least in real life, talks about while giving you career advice. So keep watching. I had tons of counseling sessions at my school, and I noticed that all of them followed a very similar format. First of all, they would ask you your stream, that is either science, commerce, or humanities. So if you chose like commerce, they would give you business options, humanities, law, etc. And all these streams had these set career options. So they would say that, oh, you have these career options, okay, choose one of them, and they would tell you the scope of each of those careers and or the jobs available with them. Then they would tell you whether you should do it in your country or you should go abroad. And finally, what they would pay the most attention to would be the practical hurdles you'll face, like what exams you have to give, what universities you have to go to, etc. Right? But none of these, and I promise you, none of these counselors talked about the most important thing. They looked at everything outside me to find my life purpose, but they never talked of self awareness. It was like that if I have taken humanities, then law was an option, then okay, maybe I should start doing for law. And you know what? It would be like I am working for the career. I didn't make the career work for me. But the minute I realized this, I realized okay, if I take my friends away, if you take the food I eat away, the things I like, the games I play, even the skills I have, what is left of me? Who am I? The skills you like, the people you like. Think about what you like in them, like what attracts you to that skill, what attracts you to your friends. What is it in them that attracts you? What quality is there? For example, I really like art and craft. But art and craft is a skill. The trait here that I have is creativity. So start seeing what those skills offer you. Who are you without any of those skills? The best way to go about this is to look for some journaling prompts and then to just start writing down the answers to all of them. Some of them that I have for you are, if you meet your 20-year-old self now, what would you ask them? Would you like to work in an environment that requires more extroversion or introversion? What sort of a person you are? What are your special traits? What makes you stand out? What are your priorities? Like, is it money? Is it more about your mental health? Is it, like, for instance, let me tell you, I do not, when I grow up, see myself to be like crazy rich. Like, I see myself to be rich, okay? I see myself sustaining myself and maybe even children, but I do not see myself like, very rich, having like 4 bungalows. I do not see that for myself. So think about these things. What sort of work environment would you like? Would you like to have a 9 to 5 working job? Is that the thing for you? Is that what you're interested in? Know yourself. That's the key. Know yourself. And once you know yourself, see in what career your traits fit. Don't make your traits fit for the career. Make the career fit for your traits. For instance, Me, I did not know that I want to do YouTube. Okay, so I had two very different fields of my life. That was my self development side, and I would love to advise people. And then there was, I would make anime music videos. Literally, since the time I was in sixth class, I would always be making music videos. And these were two very, very separate things for me. These were two separate communities for me. I would also be doing a lot of other things. So I thought at first, okay, maybe I want to pursue, motion graphics, animation, things like those. But then I knew that I either wanted a helping profession or a creative profession. Somebody even, said to me that you should go into therapy, you should go into psychotherapy. But then I realized I have a temperament as such that, that if I'm sitting beside a person in my class and they are anxious and I don't even know this person, then I'll get anxious. Literally, I start feeling that person's feeling. And by the way, that is another tip: see your temperament. I, for instance, got to know that I was highly sensitive, more so than other people. And because of that, I could read books on sensitivity, which offered me good career advice. Okay. So I knew that I was so sensitive. So I was like, okay, this may be a pro, but this can also be a con. I knew that I needed to protect myself. And as well as, in some part of me, morally, I found it kind of, you can say, cruel to make people pay for fixing their mental health. I kind of felt like I was seen as that person who had to fix others, and I had been there to advise people a lot of times. And what I've seen is, if a student does not want to learn, a teacher cannot teach that student. It's very similar with therapy. So, somewhere in my head, I found it kind of cruel. And I know for a fact that only very less people are actually able to afford therapy. And in the country I live, mental health issues don't even exist for the people here, right? It's not that I want to find a job in my country only, but I certainly wanted to influence more people than only the ones who could come to therapy. I wanted to reach out to more people and perhaps, not just advise people. I also wanted to like write things, share my own viewpoints. And then I suddenly just, one day it hit me that, hey, why not YouTube? Why not YouTube? Like, YouTube would be paying me and I would be helping the people, and the people who would be watching would be the people who would have actually looked up self development videos, or the people who would have actually looked up how to get out of a bad state of mind. YouTube looked perfect to me, and I did not have to come in contact with people, so I would not literally feel their emotions. That was so good. But then again, the thing was, I already have an anime music video channel, and I could not monetize that channel because the thing was that my stuff was copyrighted already, so I could not make money from it. And like, I treated these two channels very differently. If you look at my previous videos, you'll see that there are almost no effects in any of those videos because I did not feel the need to add effects. Like, the main thing is the advice I give, right? Suddenly I realized, hey, I know how to edit with professional softwares. Why don't I combine these two different skills into one? And then I realized that, damn, this new YouTube channel can have both those elements. Although this sort of editing is very different from the type of editing I do, I found it a good way. I realized that it was a place where I could combine everything. It was not therapy for me. It was not a teacher for me. Like earlier, I am also very good at languages, So I thought that teacher might be a good profession for me. It was none of that. Maybe not even a motion graphic designer. And then I realized that YouTube might be it. And like, I also know that I want to someday travel, and for that I can't have a 9 to 5 job, but at the same time I really want to interact with people in the way that I want to know people's opinion, in the way that I want to help people. I really want to help people. I also like meeting people, but it's like I prefer to have a short group of friends because I really want to know people on a psychologically deep level, not just meeting them like that. No, not for me. I am more of an ambivert, you can say. But that's why I'm saying, guys, start doing personality tests, start reading books, get to know your temperament, get to know your priorities. What do you prioritize? What do you prioritize? And also, I want to add that every single career field you choose will have its own difficulties, will have its own challenges, but there is a difference in feeling that you just don't fit in here, you just don't belong here. It feels like you're on the wrong planet. And thinking that, okay, I have aptitude for this, but if I could just be a little less lazy, I could get it. Consistency is key. Some good personality assessments that I can recommend you guys include Enneagram's assessment. It's really good. And I also heard this other girl on YouTube say 16 personalities. But to be very honest, like if you're into MBTI, like I'm a lot into MBTI. Like I did my genuine research. I took 2 months to figure out my genuine type. So 16 personalities doesn't actually tell you what your MBTI type is, but whatever MBTI it does assign you, ultimately it does give you an idea about your career options, so it's very good as well. Go try it out. Do aptitude tests. Get out of the set mentality put into your head by the society. Just get out of it. Listen, I'll start by sharing an experience. So I started selling, bracelets. I make handmade bracelets, so I was selling them. And this girl, she came to me and she said, if you wanted to go into business, why did you take humanities? Why not commerce? And then I realized this is how narrow mindedly the society makes you think that commerce equals business. And then I explained her that in business, it's actually the part of making the product, making it unique, that that makes me feel fulfilled. Selling it, talking to people is just a way to make money out of that career. So, what I'm saying is, don't just choose a career on the basis of your stream. Like I told you at the starting of the video, every stream offers some options. So, typically, the option of business is never offered in the humanities stream. So, had I just gone with their thought process, I would have never discovered that I wanted to do this, because honestly I would love to make a website, and I love how to I love to design things, to add colors to things, to make a good background, and I know the tools for that. So I would love to make a website, I would love to make bracelet designs, I love to do those sort of things. So I knew that I wanted to sell these things because my designs were new. So what I'm saying is, don't just make career options on the basis of your stream. Another thing is, do not think that you only need to be making your career in one field. No, especially in this day and age, having multiple sources of income is good. It is open. Like, for instance, if I do YouTube, then YouTube gives me a lot of time for myself as well. So, if I want, I can do a business on the side. Do not think from the society's conventional way, which brings me to the next point. Do not shy away from the unconventional options. For instance, nobody in real life would ever suggest you to be a YouTuber, to be an Instagrammer, to be a TikToker, whatever. Nobody will ever tell you that in your career options. Although the possibilities with YouTube are huge, they are huge. Be open minded. Do not let yourself sink into the set mentality that people have set up. Otherwise, you'll just end up, doing something to get into that career. You will not feel fulfilled by it. Like you'll say that, okay, it was better than nothing. But what I'm saying is, guys, do not settle. Get genuine skills. Listen, if you keep going by the society's way, and if you keep just studying for your exams, for your tests, doing well in school, getting good grades in the short run, when you're out of school and out of uni, and you will realize, oh my god, I don't have any skills and I have wasted my teenage years. I have heard people say this. No, the only skill that the education system, at least in my country, teaches you is how to write an exam, which is really not a practical skill. And a lot of time the education system is also outdated. So get out there and get some genuine skills. Stop scrolling on Insta.
What you say? That you only meant well, cause you did. What you say? That it's all for the
get some genuine skills, okay? I don't know, the skill doesn't need to even correlate with your career options. I did drawing earlier, I tried my hand at animation, I did a lot of things, and honestly none of them corresponded with my career options. I just got out there and I got skills, that's it. I even tried origami, I even did lectures on philosophy, okay? Do anything, doesn't matter. Can be fashion design, can be law. If nothing, in the name of skills, even try to go out there, get confidence. Even try just talking to random people on the streets. For example, me, I can talk to random people on the street. I genuinely worked on earning this skill. It's so small, and you don't think that, like, nobody will ever advise you to do this skill for your careers later. But I know for a fact that it takes time to get used to people. And I've heard elders say this, that it takes time. And this is a skill which will get me somewhere. I am sure of that. So, even these short skills, they will get you somewhere. Even if they don't, who cares? Like, keep doing things, fail at things, get up again. Doesn't matter. You will embarrass yourself. Okay, try it again. Embarrassment doesn't matter. Everybody gets embarrassed. You think that the people who are successful now never got embarrassed? You really think that? Oh well, I'll tell you. I embarrassed myself in front of an entire hall before I learned how to talk to anyone, before I got more confidence in myself, and now none of those people can come and talk to me. So, what I'm saying is get out there, get skills. How do you get skills? You set goals, okay? You set small goals daily. For example, you want to learn a language, okay? You read 2 pages of this book every day. You practice writing. You do these small things every day. You don't do it all at once, but you put these small things in a schedule. The thing is, when things are small, it's easy to do them, but it's just as easy not to do them. And that's the thing. You need to be consistent with the small things. Confidence comes from small things. Do these small things. Be consistent with these skills. And that's the thing. Set goals. Set small goals, okay? And you will realize as you keep going on, for example, after doing this for a year consistently, I really got into it. Like, no jokes. I'm just doing it. I'm setting goals for myself and I'm becoming better every single day. Did one day I just realized suddenly that why are my goals becoming more and more difficult to achieve? Like, there were technical problems, there were family problems, there were psychological problems, there were societal problems, there was everything, and I was so annoyed. And then I realized it's because my goals were not goals any longer, my goals were dreams. The bigger your dreams are, the more unconventional they are, the more problems you face. As you keep trying to gain skills, you set goals, and these goals, they become your dreams. Have big dreams. If you think that you can never do this, that is your dream. Set dreams that people will tell you that you can never achieve this. I read this quote somewhere which said that if an idea does not seem absolutely bizarre at first, it's not a good idea. It's not a revolutionary idea. Another thing is, don't compartmentalize skills. Like, for me, advising was different, editing was very different. And I could never imagine combining those two things. Like, one is literally computers, another is literally psychology. How do you combine these two? But I did end up combining these two. That is what I'm doing right now. So don't compartmentalize skills. Like, try to connect and understand things in that way. Like, what can integrate different sides of you? What can integrate most of your skills, most of your sides? What career works best for you? That's what you have to see. For example, can I use motion graphics in designing the banner of my page, the logo of my page? Absolutely. And yes, guys, that means you'll be seeing more effects in my videos. So, yay. Surround yourself with like minded people. Look, I've had this problem. The people I had, like, I was talking this big, they were thinking this small. And I thought I was completely lost. I thought that I had no idea what I'm doing. But what I did figure was no, I had an idea ultimately. Time proved me right. But if the country you're living in is very 5 minded, then why are you in that country? Get out of that country. If you're not in a position to get out of that country, get out of that place, then go online, look for communities. Like, you guys cannot give me that excuse that you don't find anyone like you with social media around. Like, please. Social media can give you the most connections. I have more online friends than offline. So honestly, stop scrolling, get out there and start talking to some people. Doesn't matter these people are in their 20s, their 30s, their teen years, I don't know. I don't know. Just meet people who are like you. You take on the traits of people whom you talk with. For instance, if you don't believe me, I used to watch a lot of self development videos on YouTube earlier, and most of them would be girls and they would be 20 something years old. Now, people tell me that you give me the vibes of someone who is in their 20s, really thinking about their life. And then I realized, oh my god, in some way, because I've watched all these girls on YouTube who were in their 20s, and I went to these videos like which said a video to watch when you're sad, etc., that these girls, they became my friends. They were 20 years old. They had a more mature mindset. So I have a more mature mindset now. So the people you're around really, really influence you. Go out there and try making genuine connection. Make social media work for you. Don't work for social media. If you're just randomly scrolling on videos, you're giving YouTube profit. As well as even offline, try talking to random people, like people who don't know you, because you know what, the people whom we know, whom we love, who are our friends, who are our family, they sometimes they create like certain labels in their head for us, and sometimes when we outgrow those labels, it's very weird to talk to these people again, and that is the fear in your subconscious mind that prevents you from talking to them. Well, talk to new people. Talk to new people. I mean, they might not be as close to you. You cannot share personal things with them. But what you can share are these new thoughts of yours. Because these people do not have set labels for you, they don't judge you. Talk to random people. It's not that difficult. Just go up to someone and start like give a comment on their hair, like, hey, I really like your hair, and then like start the conversation. Try to find a common ground with them. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you think you're good enough at your skill now, then, and especially if you're still a teenager or you're still in school, one thing I'd highly recommend is to enter international competitions online, especially if you're into things like video editing, writing articles, etc. Why do I say this? Because, see, when you make a skill your career, then they do not see that you were the best in your school, because they start seeing things from a lot broader spectrum, but you may not be that open minded yet, so to get exposure, to know where you actually stand on an international level is very important. You may not win, okay? I didn't win any of them, but it did, give me some sort of idea as to where I do actually stand. This also has a practical advantage if you fill in that you won an international competition in your college resume. I am sure that's going to be big. That's going to be big, okay? You do not have to win. You do not have to win. You just have to enter them. You have to see. If you win, good enough. See how you can get paid from your skill. Like I said, your dream is ultimately it starts out as a skill. So, for instance, like I told you, I am good at making friendship bands. So I realized, okay, how can I make money by making friendship bands? I sell those friendship bands. That's it. It's simple as that. And that led to the idea of business. Although business was something I could have never seen myself doing. Never. I find I find commerce really boring, okay? So ultimately just see how you can get paid for that option, paid for that skill, which is really the last thing you need to see, because if you have skills, I'm sure you'll get something. Consider if your career even needs a degree. This is so unconventional, but this should be really looked at. Some careers, especially the creative careers, guys, they do not require a degree. Sometimes it's better to not go into college or something and start doing your own careers. Sometimes it's like a way better option. For example, I have two side options And I have one main option. For me, my main profession, I'm still not sure what it would be. There would be one of two careers in it. It's either motion graphics or something else, okay? So I know that for a fact that motion graphics doesn't require a degree, but my other career option, it requires a degree. So my side options don't require a degree. The YouTube doesn't require a degree, okay? And motion graphics doesn't require a degree. So I know that these career options don't require a degree. So even if I am confused, even till before uni, then even if I go for it, it won't be a bad thing, considering I can keep doing these things on the side. So consider, does my option even need a degree? And like me, if you're like confused, then just go for the option which does require the degree, because end of the day, you can still do the other option even after doing that degree, but you won't be able to do this option without pursuing that degree. Of course, make sure that you're doing both these things, like you're doing everything on the side. Make sure. What new can you bring to the table, especially in the creative careers? What do you have that is different than others? You should have at least something that is different than others, know the niche of your community. What is missing in your community? Like, I know there's this new software in the market in the editing community that most people don't know how to handle, but I know that the projects from it can still be imported into very popular programs like After Effects. So I know that program. So try to find what you can bring to the table that is new, Similar to my advice on integrating your different skills, try to see subjects that you feel don't fit into your career options that way. For instance, if you have taken like an extra subject and you really know it isn't like the rest of your subjects, try to still focus on that subject. Why? Because see, it is not just a subject for you to score, it's an entire school of thought. Do you know what you can do with a school of thought? By understanding a school of thought, you can apply it in other school of thoughts, because the education system, it's not that limited, everything is connected, everything. So try knowing that subject as well, try to know what school of thought is behind it, and try to apply it in the school of thought you're already good at. My school of thought is psychology, for instance, that I am good at, and the school of thought that I do not have a natural tendency towards, that I don't understand at an intuitive level, is economics. But economics has a certain school of thought, and I am trying to understand it so that I can, apply it in the fields that I am good at. So yeah, even try to do well in subjects that are not related to a career field. For example, I know people who are doing law, they only focus on law and political science, and they don't focus on any of their other subjects. But thing is, everything is integrated. Career is just one skill that you specialize in at the end of the day, or maybe many skills. But there are other things in life that are also to learn, So do not take those side subjects as something that you can't focus on now. Really, like those side subjects, they might get you somewhere. For instance, I did not think that political science, I would ever be using it in what I am doing, but I am actually using it right now. Especially if you're a teenager, do try and explore those subjects which do not seem to fit in the viewpoint of what you're supposed to be doing, because you're not aware of what you're not aware of right now. You have a lot of unknowns. You don't even know what you don't know. This subject might be coming into use for you in some way later. For example, there was a maths professor at Harvard, and as a hobby he also used to write books, okay? And now we know him more for that book than for his profession. Do you know what this book is? Alice in Wonderland. This person was Lewis Carroll. So guys, it really doesn't matter what you end up making your career. You need skills, that's all. If after watching this video, you just realized, oh my god, I chose the wrong profession, do not be afraid to leave it. Do not be afraid. It doesn't matter what people will say. It doesn't matter you've already done 2 years of engineering. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, okay? See, people will say everything, but end of the day, it's your life. Embarrassment, it doesn't exist. I know it's going to take time. I know it isn't going to just come to you at once. But do not think, what will people say? Do not think, oh, I wasted my life. No. You have to focus on what you can do now. It's never too late. You're human, you make mistakes, everybody does that. If your family doesn't agree with what you want to do, I get it. I get how frustrating it can be. I get how psychologically challenging that can be. But also understand that you're not the only one going through this. We're all in this together. Literally, the country that I live in, there are only three options for people: that either you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, or you're an engineer, or else you're doing nothing with your life. That is what the children are told. If it's a girl, they're meant to be a doctor. If it's a boy, they're meant to be an engineer. Most of them, not all of them, most of them. And that is the problem. So, what I'm telling you is, all of us are in this together, first of all. And at times, you can feel that, oh, I'm being ungrateful for the things that I'm given. No, no. It's when that you're grateful for what you already have and you're still moving towards your desires, what you want, you're working on it, and still grateful for what you have, that you're in balance. You're in balance, you manifest. That is the key to manifesting. Balance of these two things. You are on the right path. You're not being ungrateful. Do not, I say, let people make you feel ungrateful. You're not being ungrateful, okay? As well as, if you really want something that hard, and if you are really in that balance, because I know I am, you will get it. You will not stop. When you really want something, you do not look at what comes in the way. It is hard. It is very hard. And I know you'll think that some people have it so easy and I have it like this, but trust me, your income will be just as hard. Even if not income, the results will be much better. Maybe you're psychologically feeling much better. You would have learned more. I don't want it the easy way for me personally. Had I had it the easy way, I would have never been where I am. I would have never got into psychology. It was because people didn't understand me that I felt invalidated, that I wanted to find a means of communication to get my thoughts across, that I started journaling, that I started writing. So really, if your circumstances are unfortunate, doesn't matter. You want something, you'll get it. And if I can do it, you can do it 10x better. Practically, if you're like in a situation that you have tried talking to your parents, telling them everything, they still don't allow, and you know you want to do this, you want it so bad, keep doing it on the side. Just keep doing it on the side, especially if it's a creative thing. Don't say things, do things. That is what I've learned, that when you tell people things, they will try to pull you down, that, oh, you can never achieve this. And because you haven't actually achieved it, you cannot say anything to them. You feel like, a lot of people don't have the confidence to say, just watch me. Just watch me. A lot of you don't have that. But when you actually do have this, and people will say things to you, you can say that I have already achieved it. Who are you to speak to me like that? You know. So really, it's the same with family. If you can show your family that yes, you're getting things out of this, which they were not letting you go into because they were just afraid, because of the generation gap that they have, their way of thinking was too different, and they didn't want to see you not doing anything with your life because they were just concerned, then those concerns will be gone, because you would have already shown them that, look, I did this, look, I got paid this much. They will be gone. Some parents are not willing to get out of that conventional mindset, and I know it can be very psychologically damaging, but we're in this together, okay? We're in this together. Just don't settle for things, okay? Just don't settle for it. That the career choice my parents have chosen for me is good enough. You're settling. Do not settle for it. Do not work for that career. Make that career work for you, okay? And parents also often tell people that, tell children that, after you've done this thing that we are telling you, say it's engineering, then you can pursue whatever you like. Do not do this, because later on you're not able to do it. Later does not come. I have seen a lot of people in my family, my friends, elders. I have seen them, and they really tell me that later does not come. It just does not come. It is very difficult to get that determination, or determination dies, especially if you are in a field that is as intensive as like doctory. Like you have been doing this for 4 years, and suddenly they leave you free, and you're just not mentally that motivated any longer, and that is the issue. So understand this, keep agreeing with them for the short run, but in the long run, see things, understand that you will do things. You may not feel like it right now, you may not have it figured out, you may not want to do the profession that your parents have chosen for you, but you're still not sure what to do. It's okay, it's all fine till the time you keep trying. I know that people say that you have time, but we psychologically keep feeling that no, we have to do it by the end of these 2 years. I have that pressure as well, but we need to break out of that. Okay, till the time you keep just going on and on, life will sort itself out. I literally know this friend. He tried communicating to his parents agreed, then he backed off, and then his parents didn't agree, and then he's still trying, but like he's not even sure. He's like, if I can do it, cool, if not, I've given up. But I know for a fact, knowing him, knowing his nature, that he will do it. I know for a fact he will do it. He will do something that's different. He will not go for the conventional options. I know it in my heart. I'm not even in touch with him now, but I know it, and I know you guys can do it too. I know it. You want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a teacher, you want to be a singer, dancer, YouTuber, doctor, whatever, you can get it. Go for it. Just start. And as you start, things will start falling into place. Just start. Don't think I don't have it figured out. Nobody has it figured out. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. I also write advices on my live journal account, so there's a link to that in the description. Do check it out. Like and subscribe if you like the video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.